Again, my name's Margie Satinsky, and I've been practicing yoga for about 30 years. The interesting thing to me is that it has changed so much over the years. I certainly started by doing it for physical reasons. I had back surgery and I thought, oh, this will be a great way to recover. And then over time, I tried a lot of different styles: hot yoga, flow, what do you call it? Anusara and Ashtanga, and so on and so forth. And after a while, as I got older, I realized that certain things felt better for me and that I would need to accommodate. So my practice today is a real mishmash. It's a real hodgepodge of things. It is really what feels good for me in my body at this moment. And I think that what I hope you'll take away from the class today is it should be that for you as well. I can be your guide. I can give you ideas about what to do and why to do it. But the most important thing is that you are comfortable in your practice. So feel free today to adjust. I'll give you a lot of options. And if something is not comfortable, try something else. You don't even have to wait for me to say, try something else. Just do something else that feels like it's right for your body. So let's start in a seated position. We'll cross the legs and immediately change legs. We all have a habitual way of sitting, so put the other leg in front and we'll try it that way. So this is a poem by Dana Falls that I like very much. It's called Yoga. Yoga is not about the pose. It's not the alignment of toes or hips or shoulders. It's not about the form. Yoga is an invitation to explore, not a command performance. It speaks the language of the soul. In the flow of breath and motion, yoga coaxes us from the confines of the known across the silent threshold into vastness. Yoga is the union of prayer and movement, guided from inside. It is healing and the joy of saying yes to life. Breathe, relax, and feel the body receive its own truth. The seed of freedom flowers within each of us whenever we are open to what's real. Right, you can open your eyes, and I like to start with some movement that moves the back in a lot of different directions. So let's start by circling. When I say, I know different people teach in different ways. When I say use your right arm, I'm using my right arm and you use your right arm too. I think that that will be more clear in terms of direction. So I am circling, and I started by going over to the right here. We can start by breathing in and out through the mouth. We'll change it. We'll change it to breathing in and out through the nose, but we'll start through the mouth and then slowly switch directions. Just go the other way. It's a very free movement. It's not a precise circle. It's not a precise oval shape. It's whatever feels right for you this morning in terms of loosening up your back. Okay, let's change the legs. So go back, put the leg that you like to put on top and in front, put it there. And we'll move the back in yet a different way. So I'm going to put my right hand on the ground. If you can't get comfortably to the ground, put a block there and drop your hand on the block. Tilt to your right and really extend your left arm up by your ear and start to turn to your left. So your lower body is very stable, enabling your upper body to move. And you can stay here, or if you'd like to add another flourish, put your left hand behind your head, lean into your hand, and revolve to the left. A little bit more twist. All right. Come back around and revolve to the right. So you can put one hand maybe near your knee, the other hand back a ways, and let your hands help you. So again, lower body stays firm and stable. It's the upper body that's turning. If you get to a point where something feels like this is not for me, that's the place to stop. Good. All right, now we'll walk the hands forward before we do the other side. So one thing I tend to do throughout the practice, and I will talk about it today, is I think about arriving in a pose, being in the pose, and then leaving. And the being in the pose, to me, is the one where you learn the most. You play around with it. That's where you explore. You don't think about leaving. You're there for the adventure of the pose. All right, from here, let's drop the left hand down on the ground, extend the right arm up by the ear, and you might push away from the ground with the left hand, twist to your right, and then put your right hand behind your head. Let your head just rest in that hand like a little, it's like a little cradle. Turn to your right some more. And release. Let's go over to the left, dropping both hands. Notice the difference in your two sides. I know that I'm much tighter on one side than the other. It doesn't mean I have a bad side. It just means they're different. You can always use a block under one hand or both hands. Breathing. Good. And then bring your hands back to the front. Reach your hands forward. Stretch your arms to the front of your yoga mat, keeping your elbows up off the ground. This is about lengthening the back. So you can feel yourself pulling in the center. It's as if the top of the head is being pulled forward. Nice long back here. Good. And release. And one more way to move the back. So hands on the knees, arch your spine, look up. And round your spine, lean back a little bit as you look down. This is a good time to change your breathing. Put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, close your mouth, and breathe in and out through your nose. It's called Ujjayi breath in Sanskrit. And it's a stronger breath than breathing in and out through the mouth. So again, tongue on the roof of the mouth, mouth is gently closed, and we're breathing in and out through the nose. Good. All right. So we've dealt with the back. Let's do hips. And I'm picking on the things that for most people are the ones that give us problems. People will always say my back is tight, my shoulders are tight, my hips are tight. Those are the big three. Take your feet as wide as the yoga mat and start to move your knees from right to left. It's very slow. A couple of things might make this more comfortable for you. So if you want to move your hands in a little closer, you could try that, or you could take your hands back. Just make sure that the distance between your feet and your hands is one that suits your body. Good. We'll go over to the right. Drop your knees. If you can, walk your hands in. And if this gives you problems, don't drop your knees as far down or put something underneath that right knee. If it's comfortable, put your right knee on top of your left and start to twist your body to the right. Again, still affecting the back, also the hip area out the outside of the leg here. There's a spot, I call it in my yoga classes, I call it the spot that really bothers everybody. And it's where the back and the glutes and the hip come together. It's like right at the top of the leg. And for many of us, it can get very, very tight, very, very uncomfortable. Good. All right, from here, take your right foot off your knee. Turn to the right side of your yoga mat. So I have my right leg in front. I have my left leg bent back. I'm going to lower down. As you lower, feel free to rock from side to side. Good. Slowly come up. One more piece here, so straighten both legs. I'm going to take my left leg back. My right leg is coming toward the front of the mat, and I'm continuing to turn to the right side. Right, for some of us, this is as far as we're going. If you'd like to add on, start to make a half circle with your straight left arm and follow your fingertips. Let your gaze, your drishti, follow your fingertips. Feel some opening in the upper body here, back and forth. Excellent, good. All right, let's keep the legs straight, sit up. So we have legs in a wide-legged position, and you probably are facing the left front corner of your mat. Push your heels forward, and then allow your hands to slide down your legs. And you can hold your toes, you can hold your ankles, any place that your hands land is fine. All right, so what are we doing while we're here? We've arrived in the pose. The backs of the legs are stretching, and the more we push the heel forward and the more the toes come in, the more we're getting some action in the backs of the legs. You might want to pull your belly in, keep your shoulders down, so try to avoid something like that where the shoulders go up to the ears. And release. Let's come back, face forward, put your feet as wide as your yoga mat, and we'll do the same sequence on the other side. So the feet are wide, the knees are moving from left to right, back and forth. Maybe it feels different. This is the second time. It might feel a little bit more comfortable. The body is used to this movement, this position. And the next right knee. And then turn yourself to the left. Just turn around. Good. Release. All right, let's straighten out the legs. So the left leg comes forward, the right leg goes back. You're still twisting to the left. And if you feel steady and comfortable now that we've arrived, take your right arm, straighten it out, and make a half circle, letting your gaze follow your fingertips. Good, and release. Right, we have our legs spread wide. Let's face the front right corner of the mat with the wide legs. And again, push the heels forward, start to come down. And rather than grabbing your toes and yanking your toes and hoping it all fits, let your hands go down your legs and land in just the place that feels right for you, wherever that might be. Keep breathing. Good. And release. Let's bring the legs together. Just take them forward. If you would like to sit on something like a blanket, I'm going to sit on a folded blanket and pad things back there. You can do that. If you have a strap, you might want to grab your strap. Inhale, sit up nice and straight, and exhale, going to come down. So we've arrived in this shape, and there are a couple of possibilities depending on what you want to do. If you want to concentrate on the backs of the legs, you could put the strap around your feet, pull your toes in, and push your heels out. If you're doing this, keep tension on the strap, turn your elbow creases up, and keep a little bend there. And pull your belly in. So that works the backs of the legs. If you're more interested in what's going on in your back right now, you could round your back a little bit. Don't put your hands down so far. You don't need the strap. It's like a forward bend. Good. And a release. All right, let's sit up. Keep the left leg grounded. Put the right foot across the left leg. So we have a bent right knee. The foot is down. Take a twist to the right. A couple things to think about here. Push your left heel forward. Let your toes go up. Keep that lower part of the body stable. And we twist. I think it's very interesting to focus on what's happening in the upper and the lower parts of the body. Sometimes they're both moving, but sometimes one is moving and the other one is stable. So there's different ways of practicing, and we'll do a little bit of the different ways as we go through the practice today. Good. All right, switch. Put your right leg out, cross your left leg over, take a twist to your right, left rather. Good. Release. And one more time, straighten out your legs. This time, cross your right ankle over your left. This is very much about the backs of the legs. So I am going to use a strap, and I have some choices about where I put it. I could put it high up on my toes. I could put it in the center of my feet, or I could put it down at the very base of my heels, where my heels and the ground come together. It feels different. There's no right way to do it. See what works for you. And again, think about what we're doing. It's the backs of the legs here. Okay, switch. Cross your left ankle over your right. And again, find a secure and a comfortable place for your strap. And release. Great. All right, from here, we're changing positions. We're coming to hands and knees. If you need a blanket under your knees, you can put a blanket or a towel there. Just make sure it's nice and comfortable for you. So we'll come in table pose with the hands as wide as the shoulders. And from here, we're going to drop the right elbow down and extend the left arm straight forward. So I like to call this half puppy. It's a heart opening pose. Obviously stretching the chest area and the back a little bit. And come back. And let's extend the right arm forward. This is half puppy on the other side. How different does it feel from the first way? Good. And a release. All right, from here, keep your knees about hips distance apart. Make sure your right hand is anchored firmly on the ground with your fingers spread wide, and take your left arm out to the left. Sweep it under your right. Sweep out to the left and under. One more time, go out and under. So come on your left forearm, begin to lower yourself down, and if it's comfortable for you, come all the way down on your left shoulder. So I'm on my left shoulder. My right hand is out a little bit to the right, and I like to come on my fingertips rather than putting my palm down. It helps me remember to stay up rather than to sink. And I'm going to straighten my right leg. Take it back on the mat. My toes are on the ground. So I'm pushing my right heel. Going to lift and lower my right leg just a little bit. So right this minute, the purpose is strengthening. It's not stretching. We're working on the glute muscle, butt, and the position of the foot is really important.
up and down. Take your foot up, your leg up, turn your foot out. So the foot is out to the side, and if you push your heel and you flex your glute muscle in the butt area, it makes your leg much, much stronger. And release, drop your knee. And let's come into child's pose. Toes together, knees apart. Sit back, extend your arms and keep them up off the ground so there's space between your elbows and the ground. All right, come up to table and we'll do the other side. So start with your hands shoulder distance apart, your knees or hips distance apart. The right arm goes out. Take it under the left, sweep it out, draw under, sweep out, and come under. Come on your forearm and then down on your shoulder. You can move your left hand out to the left a little bit, and again, tent your fingers so your palm is not pushing into the ground. Straighten your left leg, tuck your toes are on the ground. And then lift and lower. So as I said at the beginning, if at any point you feel like, no, this is not right for me, you just stop. So I'm doing a progression with each of these poses, but it's perfectly fine to stop at the first progression and not go to the third. Up and down. All right, next time your leg goes up, turn your foot out. So the left foot is out to the side. This requires strength and balance. And release, drop your knee. Let's sit back in a child's pose, toes together, knees apart. At each step of the way, just take a little inventory, see what your body is feeling like. And then from here, we're going to come forward in puppy pose. We were doing half puppy before. Just reach your hands forward. Both hands come forward. Drop down. Keep breathing. And release. Walk your hands back in. And we're back in our table. So we'll turn our attention to our legs. Again, your hands are very secure on the mat. This is a strengthening move. It's not a stretching move. It's all about strength here. We're going to keep the hands down and the left knee down, and then take the right knee out to the side and bring it down. So what often happens is the right knee goes out to the side and the body starts tilting to the left. A way to prevent that is to put more weight in the right hand. So bent right knee goes out and comes down. Inhaling out and down. Now take your leg back, keep it up off the ground. Bring your knee to your chin and chest and look down at it. Extend, look forward on the inhale. Exhale, knee to chin and chest. Inhale, out. One more time, knee to chin and chest. And the next time, we're going to change it. And you're going to, excuse me for just a minute. Just a minute. All right, and you're going to bring your knee forward and put it down. So your knee is down. You've got your hands out in front of you. And let's spread those fingers really wide and lower down and lift up. And lower down and lift up. And lower down and lift up. Let's do it one more time. Lower and lift. All right, the next step here is to lower the elbows. Come in dolphin arms, interlace your fingers. And then If you'd like to go further, it's an if, it's not a must. You wiggle your elbows forward, pick up your back leg. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. Got my elbows down. I'm picking up my left leg. It's up off the ground. And I'm going to lower and lift my straight left leg. So it's working the same muscle that we were just working before. It's the glute muscle, the butt. Down and up. Down and up. And down and up. For some of us, this is as far as we're going. If you'd like to go further and add a balance element, come on your hands, bend your left knee, reach around with your right hand, find your foot, and push your knee back. You push your knee back, and then you push your foot into your hand. So it's balance, it's strength, it's stretch. This is a good one. A lot of things going on at one time. All right, one more piece here. Release your foot. Take the top of your left foot and put it on the bottom of your right and sit back. So for some people, this doesn't work. It may not feel right on the knees, or there may be some other reason. I'll give you some options here. Again, we have the left foot on top of the right. You can take your knees wider. That makes it more comfortable. You could put a blanket underneath your legs, or you could put a blanket between the top and bottom of your legs. Either one. Settle yourself. So if this is not for you, you could just cross your legs. Just do it with a cross-legged position, and we'll work on the arms. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, right arm under left. Coming in eagle arm. So I've crossed my elbows, and I'm bringing my palms together. If it's not right for you to bring your palms together, take the backs of your hands together. Or another way would be to just hold your shoulders. Lift and lower your elbows. And release. All right, come on to hands and knees. You can just tap out the tops of your feet. Notice how different the two sides of the body are feeling right now. We've worked the right. We haven't done the same thing on the left just yet. So we'll start right now. Hands are as wide as your shoulders. Your fingers are spread really wide. Take your bent left knee out to the side and bring it down. So this time, if your body tends to lean to the right, put more weight on your left hand. Out and down. And out and down. Very nice. Take your legs straight back. Bring your knee to your chin and chest and look down at it. Inhale, go back. And exhale, come down. Inhale, go back. Exhale, come down. All right, this time take your leg back. Bring your knee forward, and you're going to put your left knee down. Your left knee is facing forward. Good. Take your hands as wide as your yoga mat. And let's go down and up. With breath. So poses like these really affect so many different places in the body. Got the up your back leg, your right leg, and lower and lift your right leg. So my leg is very straight. I'm pushing my right heel toward the back of the mat. Feels pretty strong. And then again, if you'd like to add the balance element, put your hands down, come up on your hands, and then pick up your right leg, bend it, reach back with your left hand, find your foot, and start to take your knee back and push your foot into your hand. Good. Finally, put the top of your right foot on the bottom of your left. Sit back and again, make any adjustment that you need to make so your legs are comfortable. Take your arms up overhead. And this time we'll bring left under right. And perhaps the hands come together. And lift and lower. Up and down. And up and down. Great. Release. Just come back to table. You want to just tap out the tops of your feet. And then we'll do a little stretching for the tops and the bottoms of the feet. So I'll turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to tuck my toes and sit back toward my heels. So for some people, it doesn't feel terrific to go all the way back. You don't have to go all the way back. You control it with your hands. You could go just a little bit, or maybe a little bit more, or maybe not much at all. So you decide what's going to work. Remembering what we're doing, we're stretching the bottoms of the feet. So if you get yourself back, you could raise your arms up by your ears and then draw them back and forth. Getting a little movement in the upper body. It's a good distraction. Putting your foot in this position is not something that we normally do. And if you move your arms around, you can think about your arms and not your feet. Good. All right, put your hands down. And then from here, come down. We'll work the tops of the feet. So I'm going to sit back. So I have the tops of my feet down. I'm going to give plenty of options for this too. So one option is to lift and lower both knees. And again, I'm working on the tops of my feet. They don't come up very high. Another option might be to lift one knee, put it down, and lift the other knee and put it down. So those are both effective. And a third one, some people really don't want so much pressure on the knee. A third one is to take your foot. I'm going to do it with my left foot first. I'm just going to put the top of my left foot toward the bottom of the mat and lift and lower. But I don't have body weight on my knee. So this one is the least uncomfortable for the knee. Find what works best for you and just work on those feet a little bit. Great, and release. All right, from here, we're going to come into malasana, squat. So you can do it with or without a block. I'll tell you what's important here. This, first of all, it's about stretching the inner thighs. Take your feet as wide as your yoga mat and turn your toes out. And let your weight drop back. Again, if you don't want to do it without a block, you could put one block here, you could put two, you could put as many as you want. And we'll just get this nice stretch for the inner thighs. If you feel balanced and you'd like to add an extension of the arms, go ahead and do that. Just reach them out. And release. Right, everybody grab your block. We'll all sit on a block and do a couple of twisty things here. So I have my feet right in front of me again. Toes are turned out and my knees are above my ankles. I'm going to take my left arm forward. And my thumb is up to the sky right now. I'm going to turn my hand so my thumb comes down. And then I'm going to wrap my arm around my left leg. So I'll show you the wrap. I'm coming out of position because I want to show you the wrap. The wrap is you put your arm below your knee. You start to twist to the right. And maybe your hands come together. Now, what's more important than hands coming together is the twisting.
So if all you do is this, if you just drop your arm and twist to the right, you're getting plenty of benefit from this pose. It's not necessary to get your hands together. Another option obviously would be, if your hands are pretty close, you're almost there, you could take a strap, put it behind you, and work your hands along the strap, and they'll get closer and closer together. But as I said before, the most important thing is the twisting to the right. It's not about the hands. And release. Good. All right, take your right arm forward. Thumb is up right now. Let's turn it. Turn the thumb down and wrap. So again, you put your arm below your knee, twist to the left, and that's the most important part. And then you see what happens with your hands. Good. And release. All right, put your feet in front of you. We're going to come into bound angle or Baddha Konasana off the block. So I'm just going to take that block out. And one thing I like to do here, instead of pulling my feet in, that changes the position of my pelvis. If I put my hands behind me and move my body to my feet, I come into a much different position and I get a much better stretch in the insides of my legs. And then I can wrap my hands around my feet and start to come forward. Let's see what you find. Good. And release. Very nice. All right, from here, let's stand up. So I'm going to move back. I think you can see me. And we'll start by putting the feet about hips distance apart. This is not just a hangout position. There's a number of things to do here to keep it nice and strong, keep the lower body really in a good position so we can move the upper body around. So one of those things is to think about rotating your ankles out. I'm not lifting my feet. It's more of an isometric move. I'm trying to take the muscles and just move out there. And then in the back of my leg, I'm squeezing my glutes. So to look at me, it doesn't look like I'm doing anything. But my legs are much stronger if I do it that way than if I just hang out like that. So again, let your ankle area roll out. Squeeze your glutes. Inhale your arms up. And let's come down in a standing forward bend. So here, a couple of things. Use a block or two if you like. I'd like you to keep your legs straight. So if that means you put those blocks up really high, that's what you do. And again, you can still be very conscious of the backs of the legs here. Right, from here, walk your hands forward. We'll come into down dog. Fingers spread really wide. Let's push one heel and then the other down toward the yoga mat. Some people like to put a blanket underneath the heels. That's a nice soft support. Just notice how the backs of the legs are feeling. And then take both heels to the left and both heels to the right. Once more to the left. And once more to the right. Good. All right, back to facing forward. Take your right leg up, bring your knee to your chin and chest, look down at it. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, go back. Exhale, bring it in. Put your foot down between your hands and push your left heel straight back. Lower and lift that leg. So the left knee is touching down and then it's going up, and do that about 3 times. And then keep your knee up, ground your left hand, twist to the right and open up. So this is more about strengthening than stretching.
All right, put your hands down. Put your back foot down at a 45-degree angle. And come up in Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. So the weight is equally distributed between the 2 feet. Press especially hard on the outside of the back foot, the left foot. All right, now we're going to depend on this lower body to keep us steady, and we'll move the arms. Take your right arm and turn it so the pinky finger is down and the thumb is up. And then bring your back arm forward, bend it, and straighten it out. And straight arm comes forward, bend the elbow, and take your arm back. And again, straight arm comes forward, bend it, and go back. Very nice. From here, lower your front elbow on your front knee. You're turning to the left, extend your left arm beside your ear. So side angle pose. And again, your feet are very, very stable. Your legs are very, very strong here. Great. Put one hand on either side of your front foot. Pick up your back leg, standing stick. So all of this happens very, very slowly. And again, if something is not feeling like this is for you today, find something else. Be creative. All right, take your left foot behind your right, just as we did when we were sitting down. So we're stretching the backs of the legs. I like to bring my toes together and take my heels apart and hang down. So a block would be great under your hands if you like, or just put your hands on your legs. And release, come up. Shake things out, and we'll do the sequence on the other side. So inhale, your arms are up. Exhale, standing forward bend. Good. Walk your feet back. So we're in down dog again. Let's repeat what we did on the other side. Lower one heel and then the other. Feel this nice stretch in the back of the lower part of the left leg and the right. Achilles area, ankle area. Good. Take your heels to the left and take them to the right. And to the left and to the right. And to the left and to the right. Good. All right, from here, bring your left leg up. Bring your knee to your chin and chest. Extend on the inhale. Bring your knee to your chin and chest. Again, out. And exhale, bring your knee in. Inhale, out. And bring your knee in. Put your foot down between your hands. All right, so we have the left foot between the two hands. We have a straight right leg at the moment. We're going to bend the knee and straighten. And bend and straighten. Let's do it twice more. Bend and straighten. Again, it's about strengthening. And bend and straighten. All right, from here, keep your right hand down. Twist to your left. Raising your left arm. And a release. Carefully put your right foot down. It's on a 45-degree angle. We'll come up and come in our Warrior Two again. Nice. All right, from here, sorry about the noise. Turn your left hand so the pinky finger is down and the thumb is up. And then bring your right arm around, bend your elbow and pull back. Straighten your arm, bring your right arm around to touch your left, bend your elbow and go back. And one more time, around and back. Good. Drop your left elbow on your front knee and bring your right arm up and over, turning your body to the right. Good. Release. Put one hand on either side of your front foot. Pick up your right leg, coming in standing stick. So this too is about strength. And then you're going to drop your right foot behind your left. Toes together, heels apart. Hang down with nice straight legs. Feel the effect on the backs of the legs. And a release. Carefully come down. And we'll change our relationship with respect to the ground. So we're going to come flat on our stomachs. If you have back issues, it's always nice to put a soft blanket or a towel underneath. Just make a little padding, and we'll come down. And get yourself into a comfortable place. If you do have back issues, it's always helpful to take your legs a little further apart. If you bring them very close together, it puts more strain on your back. Drop your elbows. Spread your fingers wide. So this is Sphinx pose. All right, we're about to work on the back. So drop your chin down to your chest and slowly roll up one vertebra at a time with the head coming last. So that's really important about the head. If the head jerks up, it really puts a strain on the back. Go back down, put your head down first. Go right back down the way you came. And again. And lower down. And again. And down. So some of us might want to keep doing that. Another option is to take your hands as wide as your yoga mat and straighten them out and see what that feels like on your back. So I know that at different times of the day, this pose feels totally different. It usually feels better in the middle of the day and the end of the day for me after my body is warmed up a little bit. And come down. Great. All right, from here, extend your left arm to the front right corner of the mat. Roll to your left and bend your right leg and hold your foot. Roll a little bit more and get a good quad stretch. So we're taking the right knee back and we're pushing the right foot into the hand. Let's extend that leg up. And take your right leg all the way up to the sky. Point and flex your foot. Make a circle, either direction. So circle your foot at the ankle, and then circle the other way. Good. And release. Let's roll back onto the belly. We'll repeat that sequence, do the other side. So start in Sphinx, elbows are down. Start to roll up. So you're unfurling your upper body with the head coming last. And going back down the same way. Again, let's go back up. And down. Good, one more time. Unfurl with the head coming last. And down. All right. This time, if you'd like to straighten your arms, we'll try it a different way. I'm going to keep my hands so my fingertips are facing forward rather than out to the sides. And I'll lift up this way. Again, if this is not a good one for you, just stay down on your elbows. Release. Great. All right, take your right arm to the front left corner. Roll a little bit to the right so you can grab your left foot. Start to take your knee back and push your left foot into your left hand.
Keep breathing. And then raise your leg. Extend that leg up to the sky. Point and flex your left foot. Circle at the ankle. Circle the other way. Good, release. All right, so from here, we're going to change positions. Once again, we'll come down on the back. So I'll do this sideways so you can see what I'm doing. Come down on your back. Put something under your head if you need it. Bend your knees and bring your knees into your chest. Put one hand on each knee. Keep your ankles together and take your knees in circles. They're circling away from each other, either direction. We'll have a chance to switch in a minute. This is a good way to bring everything back together. So we started with the back this morning, and we will do the same thing. We'll end with the back. And what I like to do is really pay attention to how different my body feels after I've moved around. And hopefully it feels much better. All right, bring your knees back together again. Take your arms out in a T position. So they're out shoulder height. And I'm going to start to rock my legs from right to left. So lots of choices here. It can be slow. It can be a little faster. You can take your legs down to the ground if your body comfortably goes there, or you can keep your legs up in the air. So many different ways to do it. And what you might find as you repeat the motion is that it changes. Perhaps at the beginning, you don't get anywhere near the ground, but after you do it 4 or 5 times, maybe your knees do get down to the ground. All right, back to center. Plant your left foot on the ground, put your right ankle across your left knee. Take your right hand, push your right knee out to the side. And keeping your knee out to the side, bring your legs in. Figure 4. You can put your hands below your left knee or behind your left thigh. Notice where you feel it. I'm feeling it very intensely on the glute medius. It's the outside of the right leg, up near the hip area. Okay, keep your ankle over your knee, put your left foot down, and roll to the left so your right foot comes to the ground. Try to keep both shoulders down. So if that means your foot doesn't come all the way to the ground, that's fine. Pick it up a little bit. Both shoulders are down. We're rotating the lower body to the left. Take your right arm up by your ear, and then bring it down by your hip and back up. And down, and up, and down, and up, and down, and up. Very nice. All right, keep your ankle crossed over your knee. Take your legs over to the other side. So your knees are dropping over to the right. This time, take your left arm up by your ear and either leave it up there or bring your arm up and down. Good. Back to center. Switch legs. Put the left ankle across the right knee. Draw everything in, figure 4. And think about how this feels compared to the first side. All right, lower your right foot, take your legs to the right. Lower your left foot on the ground if you can, but more important is keeping your shoulders down on the ground. You can take your
left arm up by your ear, and either keep it there or move your arm up and down. So the movement of the arm is always an option here. I like to do it because I feel that when I move my arm, I usually feel in my lower body, and I like the sensation. All right, take those figure 4 legs over to the left, dropping over there, and again, shoulders stay down, and this time your right arm comes up by your ear, either stays up there or bring it down and up. And release. All right, one more pose, and then we're ready for Shavasana. Come into happy baby. Just lie on your back, bend your knees, rock back and forth from side to side. So after we do one side and then the other, it's always nice to come back and do a symmetrical pose where we're doing the same thing on both sides. All right, we're ready for Shavasana, and you can lie flat on your back with some nice props underneath you. We also have the option, because all of us are at home, to do legs up the wall and do a very comfortable final pose that way as well. So if you are lying on the ground, you can put something under your head or under your knees. You can have straight legs, you can have bent legs. See what's most comfortable. When you're ready, reach your arms back beside your ears, reach your legs forward, start to move your hands at the wrist area, start to move your feet at the ankle area.
And of course, if your legs are up the wall, come down very carefully. Bend your knees, roll over to the right, and push yourself back up. We'll come back to a seated position. So we'll end by bringing the hands together at the heart. Up, push your hands together. Take away the space, joining left and right. Bring your thumbs to your forehead for good thoughts, to your lips for kind words, and your heart for good intentions. Namaste. Thank you all. I'm delighted that you all joined in, and there's quite a bit more this weekend, so register for more classes. If you have questions, you can email me at margiesatinsky@icloud.com. And if you're interested in more online classes, I do teach 2 or 3 times a week, Monday night, Thursday night, and 2 Saturdays a month, and I can tell you about those as well. So again, questions, margiesatinsky@icloud.com, and thank you so much. Namaste, have a great day.